Hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to Yoga by the Moon once again. My name is Michelle, and now I'm here to guide you through a yoga practice for the last quarter moon for December 11th of 2025. The last quarter moon is all about releasing, letting go of things that are not in alignment with who we are and the path and journey forward that we're trying to take. This particular last quarter moon takes place under the sign of Virgo, and Virgo is the purifier. So this whole idea of releasing things is really very in line with the sign of Virgo. Virgo likes to clean house. Virgo likes to organize and put things in their place. And so, and as the name says, purify. So we purify our lives, our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our souls, our every element of who we are. We just kind of do an overhaul. Virgo is very good about going through that. And it's very in line with the theme of the last quarter moon. We need to be attuned to who we are now, which is very in line with the zodiac sign we are actually in. The season we are in is Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is very in tune with our own spiritual selves, very adventuresome, very open and hopeful and expansive. And so while we clean house, while we purify ourselves, while we find what is in line with our current selves and the journey forward we want to take, we pause for just a moment using Sagittarius and tap into what those desires really are, what those hopes for the future really are, so that as we clear this path, we can create room for this expansiveness of Sagittarius to take hold. So when we do this cleansing, this purifying, this thoughtful reflection of our lives and where we are, when we do it in a way that's deep-rooted in attunement and authentic to ourselves, we really create that space for Sagittarius to really step in and create expansiveness and allow us to propel forward in that journey towards the new moon and the promise of the new moon. So to begin today, we're going to do a lot of purifying postures today. And a lot of that involves a little bit of heat, a lot of twisting, a lot of making way within our bodies, creating space, opening our hearts, because Sagittarius is all about the open heart. So we have a lot of that all infused in our practice today. But to begin, just find a comfortable seat on your mat, and we'll start with our breath work as always. If you want to just rest your hands gently on your knees, palms down, or if you want to put them palms together at your heart, wherever it feels right for you. Maybe you want one hand on the heart, one in the belly. Just take a moment to arrive on your mat and be here. Tune in to yourself so we can work on that purification and creating that space. Notice your inhales and your exhales. Continue noticing, continuing arriving as I explain what our breath work will be today. It is known as Bhaya breathing, B-A-H-Y-A, and in Sanskrit that directly translates to outside breath. And it's a pretty simple breath work. It's a very deeply purifying breath. It's physically purifying and it's mentally purifying. It clears the air in our brain so we can think orderly and clearly like Virgo. It purifies our body from within, which also harnesses Virgo, and it pulls in that power of this last quarter moon so we can really do that deep cleansing. But it's also an energizing breath. So we kind of pull in a little bit of that Sagittarius energy and element as well, because Sagittarius is very fiery element, energetic, bounding forward kind of sign. So we really pull in all of the elements of this astrological point of the year with this particular breath. Very, very easy breath. We'll do a total of 4. I will demonstrate 1 and then we'll do 3 together. And when we breathe in and out the nose. Deep inhales through the nose. And you notice your belly expanding. Breathe in through the belly as you inflate that belly like a balloon as you breathe in through the nose. And then exhale fully through the nose as you do, pulling that rib cage in, that abdominal wall in, contracting as much as you can. And then we hold on that exhale for a count of 4 before we begin again. And it's that kind of hold and that contracture that's really releasing and purifying the body. It's like springing out from the inside, right? So we're going to do 4 rounds of that. The first round I will demonstrate and then jump in whenever you feel. We will do 3 together afterwards. So ready, inhale deeply. Exhale fully, pull in. Retain. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully, pull that belly in. Hold the exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale deeply through the nose. Expand. Exhale fully through the nose as you pull that belly in. Hold that exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Last inhale. Last exhale. And hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just regulate your breath. Find your center. Maybe you feel a little lightheaded. If you do, grab a sip of water. Maybe just slowly open your eyes. Find a point off in the distance, maybe to gaze so that you can kind of get your bearings. Come back into your body, into the mat. And we'll begin our movement practice. We're going to still stay seated, but we're just going to bring the soles of our feet together in front of us, kind of creating this little diamond with our legs. Now you can have your heels as pulled in or as pulled out as you would like. Create as much space as you need, as you feel comfortable. And when you're ready, you're going to take your hands and wrap them around the outside of the toes and pull your chest through, lift that heart. And you'll feel your inner thighs kind of opening a little bit. It might be a little uncomfortable. If so, you can move your heels further away from your body. If it's not too uncomfortable, just keep that heart lifted. Create that space. Release through those hips. I know I've said it over and over and over again. Our hips store a great deal of our emotions and that energy that we just kind of keep in the body that isn't serving us at all. And so when we release through the hips like this, we allow space to come in. We allow those stored energies to fall away. We can become more in alignment with who we are just by doing this. One more breath here in Baddha Konasana, pulling our chest through. On an exhale, we're going to slowly straighten our legs in front of us. Now you're going to want to kind of tent your fingertips on either side of your hip and the mat, and then lift that heart like you did in Baddha Konasana and cobbler's pose there. Nice tall spine, kind of creating this L with your body, this very, very rigid L. Kind of flex through your feet even so that you have a very, very rigid, active seated posture here. It's Dandasana or staff pose. We are bringing order and alignment to ourselves in this way. One more breath in, and maybe raise your arms all the way up to further the shape of this L. And then on an exhale, slowly fold forward. Now you might want to pull that chest through once again. Maybe you can't reach your feet, maybe you're at your shins or even at your thighs, but wherever you are, just take a gentle forward fold. A nice purifying posture. A nice moment of surrender and release. One more breath here. And on an inhale, slowly rise back up, keeping your legs as they are. When you're ready, we're going to bend through our right leg, planting the sole of our right foot on the floor. Now you may want to keep it planted on the right side of your body, or maybe you want to take that foot and cross it over your left leg. Now keep a nice tall spine as you take your right hand and bring it back behind you to help prop you up. And then raise your left arm up and bring that left elbow to the outside of your right thigh and twist. Half Lord of the Fishes, bringing out our body, purifying from the inside out. And breathe. With every exhale, slowly try and twist a little bit more. Even if you can't physically, just imagine that you are. Imagine wringing out a washcloth and letting every last bit of water just drip out. And envision that water being the things that don't serve you, the things that are not in alignment with who you are. Wring those out of your body. One more breath in here. And as you exhale, slowly unwind, uncross that leg if you had it crossed, and straighten it out in front of you. Maybe you want to take a moment and wiggle through those legs. Maybe you just want to sit in staff pose for a moment. When you're ready, we're going to bend through that left knee, planting that left sole of the foot on the mat. Now you maybe want to keep it here on the left side of your right leg, or maybe you want to cross that left foot over, swinging that left hand behind to prop you up and keep your spine long. Raise that right arm, cross the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, and look over your left shoulder. Half Lord of the Fishes on the other side. Wringing out the other way. Twists are so good for purification, cleansing through our bodies, creating space in our minds and clarity to allow Virgo to do its work in this last quarter moon. One more breath in here. And as you exhale, slowly unwind. Uncross those legs. When you're ready, we're going to make our way onto hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Nice flat back, neutral neck, tabletop position. Once you've found this tabletop, we're going to take an inhale, drop that belly to the floor, look up to the ceiling in cow pose. Exhale, round that spine towards the ceiling, looking down at the mat in cat. Take a couple of rounds of cat-cow in your own breath, articulating through the spine, creating space and movement where you feel you need it most. One more round wherever you are. On your next inhale, we'll make our way back to tabletop. Take a breath here in tabletop. And on your next inhale, make sure your right hand is firmly planted and raise that left arm in alignment with your spine. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you lift your right leg as well in a spinal balance. Left arm, right leg lifted. Nice long line from the left fingertips down to the right toes. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you bend through that right leg and reach your left hand behind and grab that right foot. Kick your right foot into your left palm to pull your chest through. Here in tiger pose. One more breath here. And as you exhale slowly, bring your hand under your shoulder, your knee back under your hip. Maybe you want to take cat-cow to reset that spine. Find your way in tabletop. This time make sure that left hand is firmly planted, and then raise your right arm in alignment with your spine. Maybe you just keep the arm out today, or maybe you want to try spinal balance on this side, kicking up that left leg in alignment with our spine as well. One long line from our right fingertips to our left toe tips in spinal balance. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you bend your left leg and reach your right arm behind, grabbing the inside of your left foot, kicking the left foot into your right palm. Tiger pose. Open heart, purification posture. One more breath here. Exhale slowly. Come back down to tabletop. Maybe one more cat-cow just to kind of realign the spine. And then when you're ready, walk your hands just a little bit forward. Curl your toes on an inhale. Exhale, lift those hips to the sky in downward facing dog. Now you might want to take a shortened downward dog stance here. Maybe you want to walk those hands back just a little bit. That way you can really reach those heels towards the mat as best as possible. And when you're ready, we're going to take our left hand and reach it to our right shin or thigh and pull your chest through so that you're looking under your right shoulder in a downward dog twist. We'll only stay here for another breath or two. Inhale. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. Take one more inhale here. On an exhale, reach that right hand through to the left shin or the left thigh and pull your chest so that you are looking under your left shoulder. Downward dog twist on the other side. As I said before, twists are extremely purifying, wringing things out from the inside out. One more breath here. Exhale, back to center, downward facing dog. Find those hips lifted to the sky, reach those heels towards the mat. Nice, strong alignment here. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Inhale, lift that right leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need to get there to bring that right foot between your hands and the front of the mat. We're going to spin our left heel back towards the back right corner of the mat, planting your left foot firmly, bending into the right knee. Right arm forward, left arm back, opening our chest to the left side wall in Warrior Two. Here we kind of harness that energy of Sagittarius with that forward thinking, that expansion, as we look to the promise of the coming new moon while we make way and release under this last quarter moon. sort of in the in-between. One more breath in here. And on an exhale, we're going to straighten through that right leg. Maybe step the left leg up a little bit. Keep your arms, right arm forward, left arm back. And we're going to tip into our right side waist. And when we start to kind of round in our right waist, instead of rounding, we're just going to tick-tock our arms so that our left arm is pointed to the ceiling and our right arm is down, either touching our outer part of our shin, the outer part of our thigh, maybe having a block on the inside of our right leg, planting our hand on the block, or maybe you even reach your hand all the way to the mat if that's accessible to you. I prefer either a block or to grab at my shin to keep a nice tall long spine. Here in triangle pose. One more breath here in triangle. And now we're going to revolve this triangle. So our left hand is going to come down in place of our right as we open the right arm up to the ceiling. Twisting here in triangle. Just for a single breath. And then on an exhale, bring your right hand and your left hand to the mat in front of your right foot. And we're going to sit into that right hip as we keep that left leg straightened. And your left toes should lift towards the ceiling. Here in Skandasana. Ninja pose as it's known, or as I call it for the kids when I teach children, Spider-Man pose. Sit here into your right hip for one more moment. Then we're going to use our fingertips and crawl to the left side of the mat, straightening through your right leg, pointing those right toes towards the ceiling, sitting into that left hip. Skandasana on the other side. And that little triangle warrior 2 sequence we did on the right leg, we are going to do in reverse here on the left side. So when you are ready, we're going to lift our hips, straightening both legs. Your right foot will plant with the right heel towards the top right corner of the mat. Your left toes pointed back, keeping both legs straight. Right hand will come to your left thigh as your left arm lifts towards the ceiling in revolved triangle. One more breath in here. On an exhale, that left hand is going to take place of the right on the outer part of that left shin. Right arm reaches towards the ceiling. Triangle pose. I'm going to move my hair out of my glasses so I can see. One more breath in here. And then as you exhale, bring those arms up a quarter of the way. Left hand forward, right hand back, sinking into that left thigh. Warrior 2 on the left side. Look ahead over that left middle finger. Keep that chest open. And breathe. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, we're going to step that right foot back to meet the left on the back side of the mat here in mountain pose. Bring your hands to heart center just for a moment. And when you're ready, I'm going to turn towards you so you can see me a little better. When you're ready, we're going to find all 4 corners of our right foot on the mat. And then we're going to lift our left shin parallel to the ceiling. Cross that left thigh over the right. And maybe you double cross at the ankle. And when you're ready, bring your arms in front of you. Right arm on top of the left. bending at the elbows, the back of the hands meet. Maybe you cross again and put the palms together. And when you are ready, sink into your hips. Eagle pose. Deeply purifying pose. Very order-bringing pose. We won't take long here in this balancing posture when we rise, but we are going to stay balancing on that right leg. And when you're ready, your yoga mat will catch you. I fall out of balances all the time. It's no problem. When you're ready, you're going to bend that left leg back towards your glute. Reach for the inside of your left foot with your left hand. Then you're going to take your foot and kick your left hand away from your body. And kick so much that you start to tip forward. And when you're ready, reach that right hand forward in dancer pose. Focus your energy. Cleanse through your body. One more breath in, and as gracefully as you can, which for me is not at all, step back into mountain pose. Maybe you want to give your legs a little shake. Maybe you want to kind of shake it out of your whole body. Maybe you just want to be still for a moment. And then when you're ready, we will try that on the left side. Find your weight in that left leg and lift that right leg so that the thigh is parallel to the ceiling. Cross your right leg over your left, and then maybe cross your right ankle behind your left. Left arm comes on top this time, and cross your elbows so they are 90 degrees. Back of the hands together, or maybe you double cross again, touching palms. Sink into your hips for eagle pose on the other side. One thing that will help you maintain your balance is finding a point of focus off in the distance where you just keep your field of view so you don't shift where you're looking. That will help you maintain your balance. One more breath in here. Exhale, unwind, and lift that right leg. Kick that right heel towards your right glute. Grab the inside of your right foot with your right hand. When you're ready, kick your right hand away with your left, creating a sort of bow and arrow effect with your legs. Kick so much that you start to tip forward, and then reach forward with that left hand in dancer pose on the other side. Heart opening, purifying posture. One more breath in here. As you exhale, slowly make your way back to mountain pose. Maybe give your legs and your body a little shake. Find your breath. Inhale, reach your hands all the way up to the sky. Bring them together in palms. Exhale, bring your hands through prayer all the way down into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rise once again to mountain pose. We're going to bring our hands to prayer at our heart center. When you're ready, we're just going to plant our feet both firmly under our hip points, pressing ourselves up. And when you're ready, sit back into those hips for chair pose. Keep your hands at prayer. On your next inhale, we're going to take our left elbow to the outside of our right thigh. Hands still at heart center. Chair, prayer, twist. One more breath in on this side. As you exhale, come back to center. Take a breath in. On your next exhale, your right elbow comes to the outer part of your left thigh, hands still at the center of your heart. Prayer twist, other side. One more breath in. As you exhale, slowly fold forward. Take a moment of well-earned release here in a forward fold. Plant your hands and generously bend your knees. And when you're ready, we're going to step our feet back into plank. And then on an exhale, slowly lower all the way down. I am going to lift my head so that you can still hear me as I speak, but you may cross your palms and rest your forehead on your palms in a beautiful releasing crocodile pose as I speak. We're going to mimic that tiger pose that we did at the beginning of practice here on our bellies in our half bow. And then we're going to go from half bow into prone twists. Prone means lying on your belly. We're going to twist with that leg. And I will demonstrate for you. When you're ready, we're going to bend our left leg so that the sole of our foot is towards the ceiling. We're going to reach our right hand to grab the inside of that left foot and then kick that left thigh up so that you're kicking your left foot into your right hand here in half bow. Now you may want to prop yourself up on your left forearm to help steady you. One more breath in here. And as you exhale, let go of that foot with your hand and then take that left foot and cross it all the way over to the right side of the mat. Releasing in that lower spine. Deep breaths here. We're starting to wind down. One more breath in. And as you exhale, come back to center on your belly once again. Now we are going to bend through our right foot, the sole of our right foot pointed towards the ceiling. Maybe you bring your right forearm parallel to the front of your mat as you reach your left hand back to grab the inside part of your left foot. And when you're ready, kick that right foot off the mat into your hand, lifting that right thigh as much as possible. Half bow on the other side. Deep breaths here. One more breath in. On an exhale, release that foot and then take that right foot and swing your hips towards the ceiling as you bring the sole of that right foot to the other side of the mat. A nice juicy twist for the lower spine here. Releasing and purifying the body. One more breath in. On an exhale, come back to your belly. And then when you're ready, we're just going to do what I call a yogi pancake and flip over to our backs. Take a breath in. On an exhale, we're just gently going to hug our knees into our chest, giving ourselves a nice, needed squeeze. This is a purifying posture, but it is also a very self-soothing and self-loving posture. So find ways to give yourself a little bit more TLC. Maybe you need to rock back and forth. Maybe you want to bring your knees up and down, in and out towards your chest. Maybe you want to just squeeze yourself nice and tight. Take a couple moments here for yourself in knees to chest. Finding some moments of ease. One more breath in. And then on an exhale, we're going to bring the soles of both of our feet towards the ceiling like we're trying to stand on the ceiling, bending your knees. Bring your knees to the outside of your armpits so that your arms can fit inside your knees. Maybe you want to reach for the outer parts of each foot here in Happy Baby. Maybe you want to make peace signs with your fingers and wrap them around your big toes. Wherever you are, press your elbows to the inner part of your legs so that you can open those hips wider. Maybe you want stillness. Maybe you want to rock back and forth like you did with knees to chest. Maybe you want to kick one leg out as you bring the other in and then switch sides. Maybe you want to rock back and forth. Find movement that feels good and right to you. Find what is in alignment with what you need today. It is called Happy Baby because this is sort of what babies do, and babies are free in their expression. They take that Sagittarius energy of freedom and boundless limits to heart. So please do so in your own body. One more breath in here, and on an exhale, bring those heels to the bottom of your mat. Lace your hands wherever you wish. Find your final resting pose as I guide you through our meditation for this last quarter moon. As you settle into this moment, acknowledge the energy of the last quarter moon. It's a phase of reflection, release, and preparation for new beginnings. Bring your attention to your breath. Inhale deeply, allowing air to fill your lungs. Exhale slowly, letting go of any stress or concerns. With each breath, feel a sense of grounding and presence in the current moment. As you continue to breathe, let go of thoughts about the past or the future, and center yourself in the now. Connect to the natural rhythm of your breath, and picture the last quarter moon in the night sky. It casts a gentle and fading light. Envision its subdued glow, creating a peaceful atmosphere around you. Feel the soft illumination of the moon touching your skin, calming your mind. Allow the fading light to symbolize the completion of a cycle. Embrace the waning energy of the moon, preparing for a period of rest and reflection. Take a moment to reflect on the lessons you've learned during this lunar cycle. What challenges have you faced? What insights have you gained? Acknowledge the growth and evolution that have occurred, and accept the wisdom gained through the experiences. Express gratitude for the opportunity to learn and transform. And as the moon wanes, sense a release of any lingering tensions or burdens, making space for new insights. Repeat these affirmations to yourself as I say them aloud. I release old energy and anything that holds me back. I embody potential. I release all blockages that are preventing me from moving forward with abundance. I find peace and clarity. Repeat positive affirmations to reinforce your commitment to growth and success. With the energy of the last quarter moon, consciously release any remaining tension or attachments. Imagine these energies as gentle streams fading away from you, returning to the universe. And feel a sense of lightness as you let go. Rest in the process of release and recognize that letting go creates space for new beginnings. Allow the calm energy of the moon to guide you through the releasing process. As this last quarter moon signals the end of one phase, anticipate the renewal that comes with the next lunar cycle. Picture yourself standing at the threshold of a new beginning, ready to embrace opportunities that lie ahead. Set the intention to approach the upcoming cycle with an open heart and a clear mind. Envision the possibilities and the fresh start awaiting you as the moon completes its phase. Now gently bring your awareness back to the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and gradually return to the space around you. Take a final deep breath, inhaling a sense of release, exhaling any remaining tension. When you're ready, open your eyes with a renewed sense of clarity and preparedness for the next phase of your journey. Carry the energy of the last quarter moon with you as a guide for reflection, release, and renewal. Our next practice will be for the new moon, for this promise of renewal, and I want to thank you in joining me in this process of release today. From my heart to yours. Namaste.